what happened at the trade deadline was they traded all their veteran players and they became younger. They became more athletic. All those things kind of conspired to feed into the kind of baseball you're seeing them play right now.
Chris McCosky, veteran writer for the Detroit News covering the Tigers, probably having a blast. Chris, great to have you on this show for the first time. How you doing? You having fun this month?
Yeah, you know what? It's a little second time on the program, though, I think. I was on once before, but I was so memorable, obviously, that you deleted it from your memory banks.
My research team told me behind the scenes that this was a debut for Chris, but we'll check it.
I will do better this time. This will be my real debut.
Let's make this one count, okay?
I just want to know what he said. How many times do you write bad things about me? That determines if you're back or not. That's all I want to know. I mean, he's been in Detroit since '94.
I didn't get a chance too much to write bad about you, even though you were generally in the middle of the scrum with the Tigers. Those are good days.
Those were the glory days.
Well, they're back. They're back right now for
I
the
know.
Tigers.
They're way better than they used to be.
Hey, yeah. So let's set the stage here first. So let's spin it forward. Then we can reflect on what's been going on here. But did you have Tyler Holton, Game 2 for the Tigers in the playoffs against the Houston with a chance to put the Astros season to a close on your bingo card or on your predictions, in mid-August?
Nah, but the way it's been going since mid-August, I mean, he's opened back-to-back games. He's closed one, opened another one. So this isn't totally out of the blue. And the fact that he only threw 2 pitches and then AJ didn't let him get the first guy in the 9th inning, left-handed batter Alvarez, thought maybe something was up with that. And it kind of makes sense the way the Astros kind of line their batting order up. I think they'll try to let him go maybe one full time through today too.
Really? You think they're going to let him go this far?
9 batters?
I mean, they could. They really could. The only downside with that is then he cannot pitch tomorrow. And AJ's trying to do everything to win today, not really thinking about tomorrow, but you got to kind of have, one eye on that, in case you lose it today.
Okay, let me explain something to you. I'm sorry. Since you're new to the program, Chris, let me tell you something. We call him Hinch, okay? I'm AJ, he's Hinch. So we don't get confused, okay? So, yeah, because when you say that, I'm like, well, no, I don't know that I'd let Tyler Holton go one time through the order. So he's Hinch and I'm AJ, okay?
No, that's totally on me. My bad.
That's kind of eye-opening, though, that you would let him go that long.
How long has he gone?
I'm not saying that would happen, but
yeah.
The other thing they got to think about, too, is how many bulk guys you want to expend today and leave yourself, how empty do you want to be if in the event of a loss today? There's a lot of things to factor in, but if he's shoving, I mean, I didn't see the Astros lineup yet, unless there's a pocket of right-handed hitters toward the bottom of the order. I mean, he'll let Holton go, I'd bet, at least 2 innings if he's effective.
I mean, are you counting the Tigers out already here? Because it feels like you're playing for Game 3, but they've been playing one game at a time the whole season. I know it doesn't matter what you think. It more matters is how AJ is deploying them. If he lets him go out, if Hinch is deploying him that way, if he lets him go out for 3 times through for the first 9 batters, does that mean that AJ's thinking, okay, we got to win today, or is it just no holds barred? And secondly, who's coming in second? Is it Hannafy? Is Hanafy's going to come give you the bulk innings?
No, we talked to AJ. We talked to AJ before the game. We talked to Hinch before the game about this. Obviously, it's all in today. He's not going to leave it to the randomness of a Game 3, winner take all in the Minute Maid Park. So yes, they're all in today, for sure. And the second guy today will probably be Reese Olson. Reese Olson and Herder are his 2 options for the bulk today, and Jackson Jobe is also probably an option today. If he hopes not to have to use all that to get to the back end, but those are the guys. I think Reese will be 2 and Herder 3 today in the pecking order.
What's that environment like in that stadium? Because everyone knows, they shut the roof, they open the roof, all that stuff. But Houston hasn't won at home. They haven't done well in the playoffs at home. Is there a sense in the stands or in the dugout for the Tigers in their locker room, like they have a they have a shot at this? And do the Astros fans kind of put off that vibe of here we go again. Like, we're down again. This is not good.
Yeah, there was some fatalistic feeling at the end of that yesterday for sure. But before the game, it was almost like, this is just a wild card spot. We're going to get deeper. The crowd was they announced a sellout, but it was not a sellout. And there's a lot of stress. This crowd stresses on umpire calls more than a lot that I've seen across the league. I mean, every call is against them. They're howling. So there was a lot of tension. You could feel the tension in the crowd. It's so bizarre. It feels random that they haven't won anything. They haven't won one here, clinched one here. But that's the reality of it. I don't think that's a factor for the players as much. I don't think and AJ certainly knows what it's like to play here. That's an advantage for the Tigers, that he's so familiar with the dimensions, the weirdness of this park, and he's prepped the team on that. So that's a lesser factor for the Tigers than some other teams that would come in here not knowing a lot of the little quirks about this park.
I'm trying to figure out, first of all, where you are in Minute Maid.
Yeah.
Where did they put you?
This is where they hide the dead bodies here. I'm in some back room. I wanted to get out of the way of there's a lot of media here, as you can imagine. And I just wanted to find a little room. This is like a storage room somewhere. I'm not sure who uses it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. If, let's say, the Tigers don't close it out today, who would start game 3? Because I know Hinch said, pitching chaos or whatever he likes to call it. But let's say things don't go the way they do. Hunter Brown goes out, pitches well. They lose this game. Who would pitch game 3?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to allude to earlier with what I was saying. They got to keep an eye on it. If they end up using both Herter and Olsen today, and Job even, Casey Mize might be in line to start that game. I mean, that's where they're at. I mean, Kenta Maeda is not on the playoff roster. Cater Montero is not on the playoff roster. He could also just go straight bullpen game. I mean, he could just mix and match from inning 1. He's done that before. But if you're talking about like who would be like the logical longer inning guy, if they burn those other guys today, it would be Casey. Ty Madden is a rookie. He's also in that mix. He could be that guy too, but he's gotten beat around a little bit in his last couple starts. So I would think Casey Mize would be the guy that they would turn to.
Until August, nobody was watching the Tigers. Maybe not even until September. But the move last night by Hinch, one of my favorite managers, I think he is incredible. But the move to take Foley out of the game, his closer, 28 saves closer, to me looked like an advanced, experienced move, seeing what was happening in the game. Is this something you've seen from AJ? Because I don't think a lot of other managers would have done it. Or am I blowing this out of proportion?
You're not, Eric. It's that he doesn't. It goes back to what Hinch does. There's no roles. He has never named Foley the closer. He's used him a lot, mostly in that situation, but he's never been hesitant to use him earlier if he felt he needed to, or to pull him like you saw him. And this exact same scenario happened on September 21st in Baltimore, with their season literally on the line. They lose that game, they're not making the playoffs. That would have been a crushing loss. And Bo Brisky did the same thing that night that he did last night. He came in, that was bases loaded, no outs, and he wormed his way out of it. And then last night he came in and you saw what he did. There's pockets of hitters that AJ trusts certain pitchers against. There's stuff versus a hitter's weakness that he trusts. It's not about who. It's about what the matchup calls for. And that called for Bo Brisky in that situation, and it worked out this time. The decision point that he wrestled with was Holton facing Alvarez in the top of the ninth. And that's what he thought, okay, no matter what Jordan does, there's 3 right-handed batters after that. That was hit Foley's pocket to finish that game. And it turned out that, Alvarez got the hit, Bregman got the hit, and it became a mess.
We get it. Mornings are nuts. No time for breakfast, but you need to get your day started right.
What if a delicious, nutritious meal could be ready in seconds? Support for Foul Territory is brought to you by Huel, the world's #1 complete nutrition brand. With over 400 million meals sold worldwide, Huel is trusted by millions of people looking to fuel their days with convenient, complete nutrition. Try it for yourself with this exclusive FT offer. 15% off with the code FOUL at Huel.com.
We're all about saving time, but we get hangry, like a lot. I recently fell in love with the Huel Ultimate Super Greens powder, which is a perfect blend of 91 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. I also love their complete nutrition bars, and those hot and savory pouches are fire too.
FT fam, give it a shot. Get 15% off with the code FOUL at HUEL.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters.
I got to ask you this question because it wasn't like Brisky came in and was like, boop, 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 boop. When that ball was hit off Hayward's bat, your heart skipped a beat because mine did. When it was hit, I was like, oh, Astros just won. That ball's in the corner. So admit, like as much as you could say, but the difference is that ball goes a foot higher, a foot to the right, a foot to the left. Everyone's going, why didn't Hinch leave in as closer?
Of course. Absolutely, man. But this ballpark, you know better than anybody, this ballpark, a little bloop down the right field line is a home run. The Crawford boxes are staring at you, man. There's a 3-run lead in this ballpark in the 9th inning. That's terrifying for teams. I was at a good sight line for the Hayward did not hit the ball hard. I think it was 89 mile an hour off the bat, and it was like a hook and liner. If you just looked up, you know, oh no. But if you saw it from the get go, from my angle, it was clearly not gonna do a lot of damage.
I want to get your thoughts on how this team changed since the trade deadline. I'm obsessed with evaluating how the trade deadline impacts World Series winners. We certainly saw it last year with Jordan Montgomery for the Rangers, among others. So this time around, you have a team, of course, that trades Flaherty, one of their better pitchers, but they get Trey Sweeney, and Baez was freaking terrible for them and then ended up getting the injury. So that's one factor. And then the other part I'd like to get your thoughts on are even the rumors of Tarek Skubal out there, which is just crazy to me. I mean, obviously, he's basically single-handedly taken down the Astros in Game 1. Most of the good insiders like poo-pooed it right from the jump. There were a couple that were trying to make it a thing, and we shot it down pretty good. But what were your thoughts about that too?
It was never gonna happen. I mean, I couldn't even envision a trade offer that they would have responded to for him. So I never gave that any credence either, and I did my best. A lot of people were trying to get attention by saying, you know, this would be a great trade for the Tigers, but it wouldn't have been. Obviously, we can see that now. What happened at the trade deadline was they traded all their veteran players. A week later DFA Gio Urshela, and they became younger. They became more athletic. Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, and I'm forgetting somebody. And Parker Meadows got healthy, and that all coincided at the trade deadline. So all those factors kind of went into the same soup that got them. It afforded AJ like more freedom to mix and match and do. You got total buy-in from these guys. There was nobody who was saying, "Oh, I need to get my at bats. That's my spot." None of that. It was egoless. It was total buy-in. It was more athletic. They were going for. They went first to third more successfully than any team in baseball since August. So all those things kind of conspired to feed into the kind of baseball you're seeing them play right now. The Flaherty trade was tough, man. That put them in a bind. They had two healthy starting pitchers after they traded Flaherty, and that created the need for this opener bulk reliever situation that you see them executing for the past month and a half.
Chris, how much does it say about the trust AJ Hinch has in this team? Obviously, Skubal's a stud. He should be a unanimous Cy Young Award winner. Their bullpen's been amazing. You can name, the common fan can't name two guys in the Tigers bullpen right now. But yesterday, 3-0 count. Jake Rogers hit 197 this year. Not even 200. He lets him swing. He gets the hit to break the game open. How much trust does AJ Hinch have in these players? I thought that was the ultimate sign of, I'm the manager. I believe you guys are going to win this game. And it put them in a positive mind space because Jake Rogers came up 3-0, got the hit, and then they scored 3 runs.
100%, man. 100% because it goes before that. It's the plan they had against Framber coming in, where they weren't going to chase his nibble pitches. They weren't going to try to pull his pitches, 80% ground ball rate. They're not going to take that sinker and try to pull it when they roll it over. They were so disciplined. And believe me, if you saw this team in July, they were undisciplined. They would have grounded out 100 times yesterday if they played that game in July. But they buy into the plan and the belief that if we can stay off of those pitches, if we can stay the big part of the field, if we sacrifice, taking our hero shots and just, cliche, keep the line moving, we're going to have success. And it's proven out. They've seen it work. And Jake had never gotten a hit 3-0 in his career. He'd only swung once 3-0 this year. But all the reports told him 3-0, he's coming he's going to attack you. And Jake caught Fromber too in the minor leagues. So he knew Fromber's coming with the four seam, got the four seam, didn't try to send it into the boxes. He just got his base hit, got his RBI. And then he went first to third. The catcher went first to third on the next hit. So as catchers, you guys got to respect that. I mean, that's a pretty good ball right there.
Yeah, these guys, that's what they do. These guys, that's why we do a show with them every day. They're just smarter than the rest. They're the quarterbacks.
Well,
I'll tell you.
Hinch tells me they're the best athletes in the game, so I can't deny it.
Yep. That's what Hinch says. That's what AJ says. Everybody agrees. Chris,
I don't know about the best athletes, but definitely, the most intelligent.
Depends on your definition of athlete. Let's put it that way.
There's different athletics.
Yeah, exactly.
One day, Chris, you can ask about the time Hinch tried to get me to come to Stanford, but I told him no.
Eric Kratz, he could be part of the staff right now. Kratz, you tell that story before? You turned us down, man. You turned us down.
What?
I haven't told that story. You're trying to break news that I haven't told in the year and a half.
I'm sorry, but
wow.
We would have loved to have you.
I appreciate that. He would love to have me. He would love to have me. I'd love to be there.
What was his role going to be, Chris? What was it? Was he going to be bench coach? Was he going to be bullpen coach? Was he going to be offensive coordinator? Assistant to the traveling secretary?
It's between you and I, Chris.
All right.
It's between you and I, Chris.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Yes.
Drove a Dodge Express.
Yeah, the next Sal Fasano actually out there going up against, it would have been the Kratz versus Przynski matchup in the AL Central. Maybe it'll happen someday. Kratz versus Przynski.
Cool.
Who am I gonna coach?
You guys can be in front office roles or something like that. Or FT correspondents. I don't know. But yes, Chris, you got Kratz to blush. Good for you. That was great. Well, thank you for joining us. I will get you to blush on the way out. I did get it confirmed. You have not been on with us. So you're thinking of some other girlfriend. There's some other show on your mind that you joined.
Wow.
And it ain't us, right? You ever do that where you're like, remember when we went to whatever together? And you're like, I didn't go there with you. Oops, that was 10 years ago.
Remember that time we went to the Bahamas together, Chris?
Exactly.
Oh, that wasn't me.
That magical week in the Bahamas? Nope, wasn't FT. Sorry, Chris, but you were awesome.
I've never been so
Great to have
embarrassed.
you on.
You're like Kratz now. Congratulations.
We will bring you back so that you can do a number 2 appearance on here. But thanks, Chris. Enjoy this series. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.